in this session we're going to look at our synchronized setup. But before I take you to module parameter stock and synchronized setup, I want to show you what we've already done. In other words, for all the companies, in my case I've got 3 companies, that you want to synchronize stock for, you must make sure that under the Enterprise Settings tab, you've selected Enable Stock Grouping Synchronization, and that all 3 companies that want to synchronize stock has got the same stock grouping. We've already looked at how to set up and maintain the stock grouping. You can choose your synchronized setup options here and specify them here. I'm not going to explain it here. I'm going to take you to module parameters and show it to you there. So my stock grouping synchronization is now on for all 3 companies. Click on accept and yes and yes. Now we proceed to module parameters. Click on stock and then we click on the synchronization setup. Here you will see all the companies that is now part of the same stock grouping, and it shows you your stock grouping at the top here. You can now define what must happen when it's an existing item or when it's a new item. For instance, you can switch off when it's a new item not to synchronize the bin locations. That will mean that this item might not be in the same shelf, in the same aisle in this store than what it would be in another store. So you've got to make sure that you go through all these features here and select what you need. Please remember, your stock synchronization is not going to synchronize the on-hand quantities of the stock, and it will not synchronize the cost prices. Each company will have its own cost levels. You can also select the option here, Enable Stock Synchronization on Selling Price Maintenance. In other words, if you switch this on and you go to the Stock Price Maintenance option, when you change your markup percentages or your price percentages, those changes will also synchronize. You've just got to type in the code here, click on OK, and you can also, I'm just typing in the code, switch on to enable your stock synchronization multiple barcodes. So when you go to stock maintenance and you have a second tab there at the top, multiple barcodes, it will also synchronize that for you to all the companies in the stock grouping. So make sure you define the company and what you want to change. You have a very nice report functionality here. You can choose company selection here as well if you want. This option will say allow all companies to synchronize to this company, or allow only the following companies to select to this company, and then you can specify. So this means that it will now synchronize all 3 of the companies. Once you've completed this, you've made all your changes, you can click on accept. And that concludes the session.